Guess who's back?
Oh, no.
Back again.
No. I'm not joining in. I wasn't warned about that.
Brad Street's back. All right.
That one I couldn't help.
Hey, folks. How's it going?
Long time no see.
Long time. It actually has been a long time.
No fault. Well, I guess not completely our fault. There was
We'll
fourth quarter and sickness and
yeah, we'll cover the first part of our year here in a little bit. It's been a rough start to 2022.
it's okay. Get all the bad out of the way.
Yeah,
or
let's do it.
if
how-
2020 couldn't break me.
How is everybody? I see Mother Starnes is here. Hayashi's here. Justin's here.
Everybody, yesterday was our mom's birthday, so wish her a happy birthday.
Put some birthday cakes in the chat.
Yeah, throw up some emojis, maybe some flowers. She's good with flowers, loves flowers. Green thumb. Yeah, so we're happy to be back. We were like a day away from posting about a stream 2 or 3 times, and then it would just last minute crash and burn.
We literally had a stream planned for New Year's Day.
Yep.
And then I got sick.
Very
sick.
Very sick.
Not COVID that I know of, maybe. But I don't get sick, but man, I was laid up in bed for 2 days.
Yeah, and then seemed like every time we'd start another one, we'd have like snow and ice or something stupid.
No, I feel like it was fourth quarter, obviously. The last one we did was the Darth Maul one.
That was a fun one.
It was a fun. Deck the malls. Deck the malls. We did deck the malls. Sorry, I'm going to clear my throat a lot this stream probably. I'm still getting over being sick. But yeah, we did deck the malls. And then fourth quarter started whipping my ass. And then, so we planned to do one on New Year's Day because we're like, man, let's start out 2022 like straight up. Let's see if anybody will show up on New Year's Day New Year's Day. And then I got sick that week and I actually missed work, which I never miss work. And then that took me, I'm still getting over it, but as I started getting over it, Brad got sick.
Yeah.
So that kind of put a halt on that week. And then finally, we're both over here still kind of deep voicing, coughing, and but hey, we're so as far as we know, we're COVID free. But
yeah, last Saturday I volunteered at a race, and they're like, "Hey, Brad, stand over here so you can take pictures of the runners and call out their numbers as they come by because you're loud and you can do this." And I'm just like, 14, 127. They're like, "What is wrong with you today?" It's like my voice is gone. I'm so sorry.
Like, Brad, man up and call out these numbers.
Yeah. So they had to get somebody else over there to do it.
So in the time, this will literally be the second picture I've drawn since God, maybe the Darth Maul stream.
No, you drew some head sketches and stuff. You did June the Swan.
I did June. That's the only one it's the only one I can remember. Because everything that I've posted recently are ones that I did before. I just hadn't posted them.
Sweet Christmas, maybe. Might have been.
Yeah. I haven't drawn anything. So this will be
This is going to actually be Wonder Woman 2014 now.
Yeah, so get ready, guys.
He hasn't drawn in almost a month, and
put your blinders on.
His talent has plummeted.
It may have, so this could be interesting. We'll see. But so we didn't want to do anything straight specific for this episode for this stream. Because we knew it would be us getting back into the swing of things. But
yeah.
I did, you guys may have noticed, widen the angle on the camera. So you see a bit more of the room. You see a bit more of Brad. I'm not covering him up. And everybody wants to see more Brad. Hey, Hallowfield, what's up, man? So we did that. Maybe at the end of the stream, I'll kind of show I've done some decorating in the art room. You can kind of see behind my head here. I got some sweet shelves from Mother. So I got some statues up. But today I'm going to be drawing Spider-Gwen on a sketch cover for a commission that I've had for over a month now. So just now getting back into it. So this one should be fun. It's going to be more than a head sketch. It's actually, it's about thigh up. So
oh, nice. I thought it was just torso. I thought it was a bust.
It was, but he's been waiting, so I just threw in a little bit of leg in there. So plus, I was getting really into the drawing earlier. So
okay.
So it's all laid out. It's ready to go. But real quick, before I get drawing, since we didn't get to do our 2021 year recap. Hey Corey, hey buddy. We didn't get to do our recap, but real quick, I just wanted to mention a couple things for anybody that may be new in here or watching later that may be new. Some cool stuff that happened to us in 2021, because obviously it's easy to get stuck on the negatives of a year, especially when you're going through year 2 of the pandemic. But highlight of the year, and I'll let Brad speak for himself, but highlight of my year, obviously getting to have a variant cover for Aspen Comics. So super cool. Got to partner with my ride or die Corey King and John Iker, which was really cool to not only have my stuff on an actual cover, but to have those two dudes work on it with me. So hopefully it won't be the last. They just announced Soulfire the Core. So that's going to be Kickstarter. So we'll see what happens with that. Maybe they'll invite us to do it this time. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But that's definitely the highlight of my year. Then I think probably behind that is the last third of the year Instagram boom that I had, which was nuts. I remember me and Brad would just be texting every day like, dude, hey, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. We were like, what is happening, man? What is happening? It's kind of halted now, but that's to be expected since
It hasn't halted, it's slowed down.
Since I haven't really gotten to post much. But hey, Matt Nick, hey buddy.
I've heard stories about when McDonald's was like a younger company, that they used to have like, now it just says billions and billions served, but they used to have a rolling number of how many like hamburgers they sold, and people would go and watch them. And that's how Scoot and I were. Like, our text conversation for like a month was super boring. It's just like 7,000 coming up. Oh my God, Space Venom's like gonna break 10,000.
We're like, dude, a post is gonna break 10,000. What the hell?
It's almost at 20 now, right?
It's at like 12, I think. 12, 15 maybe. No, because Spidey with the symbiote taking him over is at 12. I think Space Venom's at like 15 or so.
And then Cardboard Spidey's at 18 or something.
And then my top 9 posts it's like 4,000 or 5,000. So
I cannot believe. I think you should have made a joking one where it was all just the same head sketch of them.
Nothing but Venoms. So yeah, I think just in a quick nutshell, because I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but 2021 was good to me, and I think
other than losing a friend,
other than Murph. Let's see some orange cats in the chat for Murph Biscuit. Other than losing Murph, 2021 was a pretty good year. I'd say it was a good year creatively.
Yeah.
So, Brad, what's your 2021 highlights?
I'm guessing we're not talking about running, but
I mean, honestly,
well, no, and seriously, we keep it separate. But man, honestly, obviously, publishing Dragon Templar #1 was super cool.
Yeah.
Even cooler than that was it selling out at the cellar.
Yeah.
So kind of everything around that, because it was really cool to see it out. I got some good positive like feedback from it from people all over the place. It's actually about to be print on demand soon, so I'll have a link up for that. Next Friday, a local cartoon, the Memphis Cartooning Association, is they're going to do an interview with me and Dale Martin, the creators, and so that'll be up. And that'll be fun. So if you want to come and see me talk more, then I'll make sure to post that up so you guys will know where to find it. And then probably, honestly, getting on a regular streaming schedule. I know we got kind of wrecked there when you went on vacation, and then we lost Murph. We lost about a month there.
Yeah.
And then fourth quarter, we always knew it was going to be tough. But
we tried. We made it through halfway through fourth quarter before I tapered off. So
we got Deck the Malls out, which was really, if you guys look at our stuff, I love coming in here. Like today, we're just going to freestyle and have fun. But an evening with Cyclops is our most viewed video.
Hell yeah.
So there's going to be more of those. We have the anniversary of Carnage coming up, which we'll have to come up with a clever name for.
Yeah.
Or I might just call it an evening with Carnage, and anything that's an evening with, come knowing that
Be
there's
ready.
going to be deep research. Bring your notebook, take notes. There's going to be a quiz at the end. But the streaming is fun, and then it kept us on task. When fourth quarter hit, and we just kind of washed our hands. I was like, I didn't write any, I didn't do anything. I just survived through Christmas.
Yep.
And the streaming definitely helped. And then it's a good outlet, because even with all of us people sick, it's still not a lot of going out and doing stuff and getting to hang out with, a core group of 15, 20 folks almost every week there for
Yeah.
several months. I think we posted up like
It was
we
a
just
lot.
started really in August or
Yeah.
so, and we posted up quite a few streams. So
Yeah, I didn't even mention that. Yeah, I mean, 2021 we started streaming. Like we hadn't even been streaming. Yeah, we hadn't even been streaming a year. So
and then so we've built a little. I mean, it's not much, but scoots up to 174 subscribers. That's I think we started when we started last at the beginning of this year. We were like 50 or something. I mean.
Yeah, and again, we've always said we don't do this for the fame, but it's super fun to come in here and draw and talk comics or talk pop culture, whatever you guys end up talking about, and and just hanging out with folks. We always said we just want to make it a place where people can just come and forget what's happening in the world, just to have a good time for 2 hours. So
I don't even remember what we were drawing that day when we got on to Transformers 86 and
I
just
don't
turned
remember
into a
either.
huge fanboying about that, or how me talking about Dave Filoni's storytelling ability and how he tells a story led to the Deck the Malls and you know, fun stuff like that. It kept you honest. You cranked through you tore through some commissions doing these.
I did.
So
those commissions literally kept me afloat sometimes this year. So this coming year, I don't have to this year, but next year, if I do that again, I will have to report them on my tax return. So hey, tax ID, another 2021 highlight, got a tax ID.
Yeah.
So real quick, obviously, you know, I had the Fathom book come out and then Brad had Dragon Templar. Looking at 2022, we're going to get our own stuff out.
Yeah.
We have plans to get our own stuff out. Now, don't get me wrong. If Aspen comes knocking and says, we want you to do a cover, or if they even say, hey, the Kickstarter thing, we're going to do another cover and we can make that happen, I'd love to do it again.
Yeah.
Because it's super fun. I've had a lot of fun doing all those remarks. And the people that are really into Aspen Comics, Aspen community have been really, really awesome to me. So I'm really appreciative of that. But this is the year we get our stuff out. Pencils for our preview issue, our 8/9 page thing is done. Inks are done. Brad's working on lettering. We're still trying to figure out colors. We're figuring it out, but we're gonna get there. But that will be out, and hell or high water, pencils for the first full issue will be started this month. So
and hell or high water out this year.
Out this year.
I mean, it's especially God. I love all 3 issues. Like if Scoot quits. First arc of B Movie Saga is out this year. Scoots gets his job full time, which once again, on that note, we were going to do it January 1, but of course we got kicked. That was actually the theme of the first stream was going to be whatever he did. Then it was going to be the launch of Patreon.
Launching the Patreon.
We kind of got behind, so we need to trend set on that a little better.
That was going to be my next point. So, and Corey, you tell me if you're ready to work on a first full issue or not.
Oh,
hey John, hey buddy.
Corey's waiting for us to send him stuff.
Corey's lying in wait.
John.
He's like the art pedophile.
Oh God.
He's laying in wait. He's in a white van. He's just waiting for my pencils to show up so he can bring them in and make them his own. And then yes, so mentioning Patreon, it is ready to go. And I had honestly planned to kind of launch it on this stream, but I think I'm gonna put it off one more time just so me and Brad can discuss it one more time.
Maybe do a February 1 launch or something.
Yeah, so maybe the next stream we do or the stream after, we'll launch it. And hey, if one person follows us for the $1 tier, awesome. We're never going to stop creating stuff for free. So so yeah, 2022, and obviously we have a convention coming up. Our first one coming up in April. It's going to be what's it called, Planet Comic Con in Kansas City, Missouri.
That is our goal. B Movie Saga 2 has to be out by then. If I have to color the damn thing myself.
Like again, we still don't know what we're gonna call it. B Movie Saga Prologue, B Movie Saga Preview, whatever we're gonna. B Movie Saga 0.
Well, it's 2 because the first one is B Movie Saga 1, but it's called Love Your Myth. If that's the name of the short story.
Well, there you go. Because I don't want to confuse it when we actually release issue 1. So, but anyway, that will be out by then. But we're trying to look at more conventions. I'm still having trouble finding conventions because so many are carrying over from 2020
or canceling or not being not committing, I guess.
So a lot of the ones that are still going that I wanted to go to are they're booked solid. So
and we're still trying to hit Canada. And God, if we could get into Thought Bubble in England, that would be awesome.
Man.
That is still those are the two big ones that I'd love, because John Locke said he'd have a Nerf war with us if we came over, the guys who run Big Punch Studios.
Yeah.
So
real quick, I'm looking at comments here because I'm missing some. So
Yeah.
Corey said write off supplies and comics as reference. Yes. This year I will be keeping track of everything that I do art wise.
Yeah.
Because I will have to report it next year.
And Corey said he's just waiting for pages.
Yeah,
which,
I see.
as much crap as we give him in the entire process with B Movie Saga, the one part that is not a speed bump in any way is Corey.
Yeah.
Like Scoot it's still uploading.
Corey's the cruise control.
Yeah, I think that like the picture's still loading on Corey's iPad and he's already inking it. Yeah. So never have to worry there.
And then Hallowfield said lettering is so hard. So that's something I do not want to get into. I don't even want to try to letter.
Hallowfield, I'm interested. What program are you using? Because I'm using GIMP. Which we can get into more while you start drawing or whatever, but it's doing what I needed to do. And like, if
can you ban Hayashi real quick, because he's talking about he needs that dabbing Patreon. Get out of here, Hayashi. So sorry to cut you off real quick, but Prophet, I see you said C2E2. I know C2E2, they had one just in December, right? When is the next one? Because originally C2E2 was going to be the one that we were planning to try to go to, and then the pandemic started. And that ended up being like the last big convention. So Ryan Michael, what's up, man? How's it going? So anyway, what were you saying? I don't remember. I cut you off.
Oh, no, I was just saying lettering is there's part of me that like I hate lettering. It's not one of, honestly, I hate doing everything but writing. I just want to write scripts and work with artists and make great comics. But right now we have to wear as many hats as possible.
Corey, smooth out speed bump king.
And so I'm lettering, and then but part of me still like, if I ever get somebody to letter for me, they're gonna hate me because I'm just gonna breathe down their neck and like send them revision after revision, because I have a very like, my dialogue and narration is very important, and how it flows I feel like is very important. So I'm gonna have to find somebody I trust.
Even with me, like reading your scripts when I'm drawing them, I have a specific way that I feel like it should go. But I'm
even like I'm lettering the first page of our B Movie Saga story right now, and
hey, that'd be cool, man. Yeah, let me know. Because me and Brad we're trying to find more conventions to go to. We wanted to try to do like one every other month. We'll see if we have to do some months back to back. We'll make it happen. But we definitely are locked in for April.
Yeah, and I want to go to as many as possible. I'm
C2E2 used to be in like February or early March, but I know it was in December this past year. But I heard them say they were going to try to do another early one this year, but I haven't really looked into it. Yeah.
Or are you trying to hurt my feelings in the chat?
So
let's get to drawing.
Yeah, let's get to drawing real quick. Because
I've got a long run tomorrow and we can't be here till 10.
Yeah. So we're going to jump into this real quick. So again, I'm drawing a Spider-Gwen today. It's a commission. So I'm going to draw. You guys have anything you want to talk about? Let's talk about it.
Continuing on the lettering, man, I love the art and the idea that goes behind lettering, because it's one of those things that makes comics so fun. Comics are fun because they're a collaborative storytelling medium. Like, there's no I write the story and Scoot just like soullessly Kenny G draws it on the paper and is done. He puts as much into the story as I do, and then when Corey comes in, you don't think ink really give a lot of story, but you'd be wrong. Like it gives life to the comic in a way you wouldn't expect, and then you get lettering in there, and then just you can make and break a comic based on how the lettering flows across, or even when you get into like comedic timing. Like I've been reading a lot of John Allison recently, and dude is like, he lives and dies on his dialogue, and it's so great. And just how he puts the bubbles and how he writes his dialogue to make it, I mean, all that stuff is a lot of dialogue. And so lettering is an art form in itself. I just don't know if I want to devote my life to that art style. I don't want to put too much effort into it.
I want no part of it.
And I do, Hallowfield said he prefers practical to digital when it comes to lettering. You know, I sent Scoot and Corey a picture. I print out the pages on just 8x11 like copy paper, and I take a red marker and I draw it in, and I usually I'll just draw bubbles all over the place until I get the feel of where I want everything. And then I go in and do it digitally, because I can't just look at the computer screen and go, yeah, this bubble needs to go here. It's not intuitive. It doesn't work. But it's definitely, I mean, once again, the same reason Scoot and I were in here packing comic books by hand, and we took every order for that Fathom cover, all however many you did, through emails and, you know, PayPal, and we did everything. It's just a grassroots thing. So why should our comics be any different? We figured it all out ourselves, and maybe one day, you know, I'll have 6 comics going, and we'll, you know, I'll be like, I gotta hire a letterer now, and
and as always, don't let me know if my head gets in the way.
Hey Shane, I always say,
Hey Shane, what's up? He's the one that got all the headshot commissions from me that Corey's inking.
Man, well, thank you, because you were like 90% of our streams last year, I think.
Yeah, really.
Very cool.
I had a lot of fun doing all those too.
Yeah, it's
welcome. Glad to have you.
Yeah, so but yeah, it's one of those things where, in a perfect world, like I said, I would love to, in the future, like, Root Studios takes off, and in 2025, I'm just writing, I'm like the Bendis of our group. I'm writing like 10 different series, and I've got 10 different artists and all these people, and I'm just like the king of the bullpen. But until then, I'll stick to writing like 3 or 4, and then, you know, we'll juggle stuff in between, which, as much as I've told Scoot that one of my goals, I'm not big on sharing goals, weirdly enough. I have this idea that, like, if you tell too many people, it's a bad thing. But I've been working on Wilder Talents for so long, and I've been trying to get the artists on board for that, and I think Katie's on board. But I have said that if I have to draw that comic, I will do it. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be a work in progress. But then again, maybe it'll be one of those things where it's like, Wilder Talents was Brad's experiment book, and like by issue 20, they're like, dang, dude's got skills now.
It's one of those things too, the drive you see that's like, man, he wants his stuff out so bad he's willing to just do it himself.
Yeah, so yeah, I've got a lot of ideas. Matt Seymour and I were working on some stuff that kind of got derailed at the end of the year, so I'm gonna get back to working on that. And it's weird because we started cranking really hard on this, and then I mentioned it a little. We talk about it every once in a while, but I'm in a running group here, and it was supposed to be just like this little nonprofit thing, and we could do runs in town and then help volunteer and stuff. And then it turned into something way bigger, and suddenly I am putting in time for that. There's like YouTube involved and podcasts and running all these races and still doing volunteer events and all this crazy stuff that I never expected. I thought I was just going out to run. And on that note, I love it. I love what it's become. And there was even like a crazy, like, eye in the sky possibility it might be like something full time in the future. And I made sure to tell Scoot, I was like, well, if that ended up becoming my full-time job, I would still write the hell out of comics. Actually, I'd write them more, because as of right now, like, comics and running the run group are my 2 side hustles, and I do those with a full-time job. So if one of them becomes my full-time job, that just means I've got more free time still, because the day job goes out the window, and I probably have time to actually watch TV shows and catch up on all this stuff people have been talking about for years. I still hear everybody says I need to watch the final season of Game of Thrones because it was so good. So, I mean, we
watched the first 2 seasons, and that's all I got through.
Yeah, I never really cared. I have this thing. My cousin says I have this thing, and I guess it's kind of a hipster thing where the more people bug me about something, but it's really just this, like, it's a quirk of my personality. Like, if you give me a book, you're like, hey, Brad, read this book. And then the next day, you're like, have you started? And then like a week later, hey, have you read this? 2 weeks later, man, you started that book yet? The more you push me, the less I'm going to be inclined to do it. And that's how I was with Game of Thrones. Everybody's like, oh my God, Brad, you would love it. I'm like, why would I love it? And their response would always be, oh, well, I mean, because you're like a nerd and you like fantasy.
It's got boobs.
You like fantasy and stuff. And I'd tell them, guys, do you got to understand, fantasy is not my genre. Science fiction is my genre. And I only recently got into fantasy reading my cousin's books and then C.S. Lewis, and then I've slowly branched out. I like magical realism a lot, where it's just a little bit of stuff there. But it was just everybody was into this, and it was like this huge thing, and so they thought that it was wild that I wasn't into it. And so the more they said it, the more I was just like, I'm not gonna watch this just to spite these people. And so yeah, I held off and never watched it, and then of course it tanked. That series self-destructed. Dude, Shane, good. Don't let that be your dream. Just start writing comics. Doesn't matter if you've written 1 or 100. You're a comic writer if you're writing.
Yeah, man.
Don't hold it back.
I'm a, like Corey says, wannabe inker. I'm a wannabe penciler. Brad's a wannabe writer, but we're trying to do something about it. So,
and there's like Scoot and I used to put in like our Instagram stuff, like, you know, aspiring writer or wannabe artist. And I was like, dude, we gotta take that out, because it's the fake it till you make it kind of mentality. But just because you're not working for Marvel or Image, or, you know, if you're publishing stuff on your own, man, you're still a writer. I mean, Scoot's a musician. He may not be a famous one, but he can play the hell out of a guitar. And
one day we'll open up a stream with a guitar.
Oh man, yeah.
Where we're jamming out.
But
maybe I'll draw Spider Punk or something.
Oh, that would be badass. We could do a Rancid song. But yeah, it's kind of the fake it till you make it thing, but it's also just, who cares? It's like when people are like, you know, and to bring another analogy to my run group, you get some gatekeepers who are like, oh, that guy doesn't run this, so he hasn't run a marathon, so he's not a runner, or he hasn't run this, so he's not a runner. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. I don't care if you run a mile, but you walked half of it, you ran. You're a runner. Like, there's no like prerequisite. So if you want to write comics, write them. And better yet, if you don't have confidence, start writing your crap now, because get it out of your system, because you'll eventually learn, like, man.
If you think you got some crap, go back and watch the Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that is
the episode we did where I showed some of my old artwork.
That was a great, you know, it was even better than showing, like, I love Alex Ross is famous for posting up that picture he drew with Superman when he was like 4, and then now, and that's incredible. But also, he's 4. He was supposed to be crappy at drawing, and so we've got pictures you drew when you were like 8 or 9, and they're not great, or you can tell you just straight basically traced them, you just copied them, and so they're not great. But showing when you were actually pushing, when you first started, like 2012 2014 is when you were getting back into it, and we thought it was good, and now we see how, you know, still I wish I could draw that good, but it shows how much you've grown. And I mean I started writing comics about the same time because you wanted a comic to draw, and I got really into it and started studying. But even then, like, that wasn't the first thing I ever wrote. I used to write short stories all the time. I used to write scripts for, like, I wanted to make movies for a while, because I got really into, like, George Lucas was my idol, and I got into storytelling through movie, like, as a medium. And so I wrote scripts for movies. I've got notebooks full of scripts I wrote. And then later in life, when I was really into video games, I was like, I wanted to write video games. So I would script out these video games that, like, Hideo Kojima would be like, dude, tone down the story, because it's just like and then in the end, that's what when Scoot wanted to draw a comic, I started writing him one. And we've told the story before how he rejected my first pitch, and we went in and created the Atlas Beetle. And I remember thinking, like, so throughout my life, everything I've ever done has been creating stories. We used to make board games, and I'd make them, you know, different ones every day, or we would tell stories through different, like, we'd make up stories, like campfire stories for each other as kids. And then it became, I wanted to make movies, and then it was, I wanted to make video games, and then I wanted to help you with comics. And the common thread in everything was I wanted to be a storyteller. So that's when I really started reading books on it. Even starting basic with, like, Joseph Campbell's Hero with 1,000 Faces, got into Bendis's Word for Pictures, which is incredible, and just really started honing my craft. And I've got some stuff, like, on my computer that I never want people to see. And it's funny because there was a few, if you guys are into any kind of video games, a few years back, a thing came out called Giga Leaks, which was a bunch of Nintendo betas got released. So people were seeing, like, really early builds of Super Mario World and the Pokemon games, and a lot of the creators were upset, and their thing is those were basically their rough drafts, and now people are getting to rip them apart on the internet, and you never wanted that. And part of me gets their point, but part of me is also like, who cares? Like Scoot sold rough drafts and character studies at conventions because people like them. People like seeing behind the scenes. That being said, I've got some super cringy weeaboo shoujo manga short stories I've wrote that if I ever get any kind of like attention to where I think people might hack my computer, I'm just wiping them. They're going to be gone forever because no one needs to read them. But you know what? I go back and I'm like, that sucked. But I learned a lot writing it. I learned a lot about how to drive a story with dialogue, how to narrate from one person's perspective and make it so you can have like an unreliable narrator, or even writing scenes and how to build a story from place to place, or take two scenes you find and then connect them because you had two disparate scenes that you now need to connect together. And you still learn a lot. So
you also even when you think you're good enough, like now, I think I'm a good artist. I still try to learn every day. But there's some art that I did this past year that I was like, what is that? It's ugly. So as long as you can critique yourself and make fun of yourself, it's all good.
And the things you guys don't see, almost every time I'm on my way home, Scoot lives about 45 minutes away from me, maybe about 40, depending on how fast I go. 30 if I really want to get home and get some sleep. Every single time, almost every single time, we'll get halfway home. I'll get halfway home and I'll get a text. He's like, I'm not happy with that picture. I'm gonna have to change some stuff. And I'm like, you mother, oh my God. Like when we did the Hayashi stream for did Ghost Rider, he got home, he's like, that Ghost Rider's not right. I was like, you're not throwing it away. We did that for Hayashi. He's like, I know how to fix it. I was like, you get 20 minutes tomorrow to fix it. Like, you
gotta find look, we may be brothers, but you gotta find somebody that's gonna drive you. And Brad has been that person that drives me. When there's weeks where I'm just like, man, I just don't feel like drawing. I just want to do something else, or I'm tired from work. They'd be like, what'd you work on today? Or, hey, we're gonna have a meeting today. Bring ideas, even if it's not drawing. Hey, what are we gonna do for this? And
I messaged you. I was like, hey man, when are we streaming? And you said, man, it's been such a rough month. You want to push it to February? And I said, no.
He did. I said, maybe we should just wait and push it to February because it's been rough. Like work has been rough. I've been sick. Brad's been sick. So just finding the time to draw has been absolutely asinine. Like,
and that's the thing is like, the good thing about this stream is, even if you don't like, we used to have a comic book creator group out of 901 Comics that I helped run, and I ended up leaving it because it got to where everybody would come and just hang out and talk, and I try to get people to present work or pitch stories or workshop ideas together, even do stuff like if you know what an immaculate corpse is, where you start a story and you write one line and you pass the paper to the person next to you, then they write the next line and they pass the person next to you. Really fun to do because you get like the story. I mean, it's like telephone where the story starts one way and ends another, but you also get where if you're not completely clear, sometimes your words can be misinterpreted and send it out. But anyway, I was just trying to come up with fun things so that we were all pushing towards a goal. And when I quit, the guy, the Shannon came to me, he's like, dude, you're not showing up anymore. And I was like, look, man, I'm so busy. Sometimes that Monday afternoon is the only 2 to 4 hours I get to write. And I don't want to waste it sitting here talking and babysitting these people who don't want to work on comics. And I was like, so I'm just staying home and working on them. And so that's what the stream is. Like, if Scoot has a crappy week, at least you got 2 hours to draw.
Yeah.
And a little to shoot the breeze with people.
It literally is a time to escape. And it's a time to keep each other honest.
Yeah.
Plus, David Finch said it best. When you're sitting there drawing and you're drawing live and people are watching you, you don't know how to stop. So,
yeah, I mean,
when I'm here by myself, it's easy to say, okay, I'm ready to get up and walk for a second.
Yeah. Or get on your phone and play around. I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff like that. And I got sideswiped by some stuff this week, but like I started out and I had 3 days in a row where I was like working on stuff and I was moving and grooving. Life called up to me, but then you know what? I'll start back tomorrow. It's fine. You just pick it back up and keep going. And these streams are one of the things that keep you grounded. Because I mean, what am I going to do? Keep coming in here and be like, yeah, I'm working on this again. Again, people could be like, when is this guy gonna put something out? Like, and
I mean, who inks the same picture for 4 months in a row?
Yeah. And
that's a jab at myself, by the way, for any of you newbies.
Oh my god, that Sinister Sauron piece. So there's if you guys, hopefully most of you guys have seen Casino Royale, the James Bond movie, probably my favorite James Bond movie.
Absolutely.
But gosh, I can't. His name's the chief in the movie. Gosh, why can't I remember his name? He played Hannibal. I'm gonna think of his name.
He played Mordo, didn't he?
Yeah, he's like a sexy East European dude.
Aaron?
No, he didn't play Mordo. That's Chiwetel Ejiofor. He played Mordo. Caecilius.
Yeah, that's
was
not Mordo. Caecilius.
Gosh, okay, but anyway, in the movie, when you first meet him and he's playing poker with the guys on the ship, and he bleeds, he weeps a tear of blood, and he's like, he says something like the drying out of tears.
Malformation of the tear duct.
Yeah, malformation of the tear duct leads to a bleeding of the eyes, and then he leans in and he goes, nothing sinister.
Yeah.
And
one of my favorite lines.
I remember when Scoot was like, hey, I'm going to stream tonight, and I was like, this is your entire viewing audience waiting to figure out what you're going to draw, and it was just the line, nothing sinister, because we were all fucking tired of that. Mads Mikkelsen, there you go, that's it. But yeah, I was like, dude, we can't watch you eat Sinister anymore. I think, like, you ink it one more time, Hayashi wasn't even going to show up. And
is that true, Hayashi?
That was when we still let Scoot ink, and now he is not allowed to.
Except on remarks.
One time, he picked up a pen to sign a check, and I slapped it out of his hand. And I was like, get Corey to do it. Mail it to Corey.
It's gotten to where I write with a pen at work, and I make to look over my shoulder and make sure Brad's not there.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the high hand. I think that looks...
I think we could... Corey says, I think we could make a drinking game where we all have alcohol poisoning by taking a drink every time he says run. We could just do sprints and drink. That would be a fun drinking game. She said, there's a blue bin of scrapped failed drawings. Almost every drawing I've put on Instagram has 3 failed attempts, and I got to break the habit of ripping pages out of the sketchbook. Man.
So you can't see it down here, but I have wooden crates because I don't throw anything away. But I'll go through and I'll look at those sometimes, and they are atrocious. But yeah, you got to hang on to them.
Aaron, you drew that sweet picture of Kane Barker though. That counts. But yeah, I mean, the same thing. Scoot will tell me that someday. I'll get a text like, dude, I stared at the page all day and I didn't get anything done. Or I drew this whole page and I'm not happy. And I was like, look, we all do it. I don't know how many times I've been sitting staring at the wall, trying to get one piece of dialogue out of my brain. And sometimes one piece of dialogue takes 2 hours and then the rest of the issue flows in 4. So, you know, everybody has a block. Or I don't know how many times I've messaged Scoot and I was like, hey man, I didn't like this issue, I'm starting over. And I just wipe the whole issue and start writing over. Or even the issue I'm writing now of Wilder Talents, where I realized halfway through writing it that I had a huge plot hole based on the issue previous and had to rewrite it. And so that's part of it, you know. Drop, stop, drop, turn around, keep drawing.
Come down, open up shop.
So you definitely tell, like, this Spider-Gwen compared to the first one you did, which, once again, my suggestion. The first piece of art Scoot ever told, maybe the first time 2 people chest bumped through a cell phone. Your page, like your pose on her, is very dynamic. Very, very good. On that topic, so I brought a visual aid today. So if anybody was back reading years ago before Into the Spider-Verse was a movie, Dan Slott, of course, wrote Spider-Verse, a crossover massive series. He wasn't the only writer. He had quite a few people who wrote with him. And before they did these cool issues called Edge of the Spider-Verse, where they introduced or reintroduced, like Noir was already established, but they reintroduced Spider-Man and women from across the multiverse. Super fun, super cool. That's where we got Spider-Punk, which famously, Spider-Punk was supposed to be Spider UK because they asked him to design a Spider-Man for the United Kingdoms. And the guy's like, well, nothing's more UK than punk rock. And
Word.
Yeah, which I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely something we copied and did our own style with over here. But then he said, dude, I meant like part of the Captain Britain Corps. And he's oh, so they had Spider Punk and Spider UK because it was too cool of a design
Yeah.
to let go. But they did, I think it was 2 stories in each of these, and they'd introduce them and kind of bring it all in. And they were showing the inheritors going around because famously in one of the epilogues, one of the inheritors killed Spider-Man 1602. And really fun. But of course, I've told the story about how I was getting this in my pull box, and my my shop owner, Jason, hell of a guy, was like, "Hey man, I forgot to pull issue 2 for you. I'll get the second printing." And I was like, "That's cool. I don't care." And of course, if you know what the second printing is, it's the first appearance of Spider-Gwen. So this is my second printing of it that I got that is worth significantly less than a first printing. And the thing is I want a first printing more because not only is this the first appearance of Spider-Woman, Spider-Gwen, because of course she's Spider-Woman in the comic.
Yeah.
It's the first appearance of Billy, of Spider UK. And I'm a huge fan of Spider UK. Like, he's definitely going to be in me and Aaron's Captain Britain Corps anthology. Like, and so I thought I'd bring that and let it sit up here to let you know about. We all have fish that got away.
Actually, can I see that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
For reference?
Yeah, you can just keep it up there if you want. It's fine.
We'll put it right here so everybody can see. Brad's not expensive second printing.
Yeah, honestly, it is. It's not cheap,
no,
but it's not like the other one can sell for like upwards of $300 or more. And then like, I should have had Robbie Rodriguez or whatever sign it.
Funny enough, the only book I had him sign was the one that I did that Spider-Gwen commission on, and now it's gone.
Oh yeah. Because didn't you just do that randomly and then sell it?
Yeah, I said I was gonna get it just so I could draw a picture on it, and that's what I did. And I sold it. And then as I was packing it up, I was like,
"Yeah, that's okay."
He goes to conventions. I can get it again.
Yeah, we can. I'm hoping we all get back to conventions because that's what I'm doing. So I'm signed up for a bunch of races this year, but I was like, I'm making sure that they don't overlap with conventions because comic stuff is just as important. Like next weekend, I can't do anything with the group because I'm doing that podcast interview, and I want to be. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna meet at 1. We're gonna do like through Zoom," and they're like, "We're gonna do the interview at 1:00. We're gonna try to keep you for just an hour." I was like, "You guys have never heard me talk before.
Have you guys never watched one of our streams?"
They're gonna be like, "Hey, Brad. Well, now that you're done, who was your favorite character growing up?" And I'm like. And I'm just like suddenly, full Cyclops costume out of nowhere, and I'm like, "Well, sit down. I'm about to tell you a story."
That's gonna be me talking when we do the Carnage episode.
Yeah, no.
Although I'm pretty sure your Carnage knowledge is better than mine.
And even Carnage is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to make me go back and read some stuff I skipped over.
I have a Carnage shelf. I have all these Carnage comics up
here. You that Black, White, and Blood for Christmas. That was super cool.
Yeah, I hadn't even got to read it yet.
But yeah, I'll read that. I'm going to get a few of them I haven't read in a while. Of course, we're going to talk about clones because Peter Parker's never worn Carnage, but Ben Reilly sure has. So that'll be a lot of fun. I like those focus episodes.
Yeah.
They give us a lot to do.
Dude, I'll tell you, and it's not just blowing smoke, but that Cyclops episode was one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's I feel like the person listening to their own music, but Scoot and I usually go back and listen to these streams.
Yeah.
And
I try to listen to audio quality and stuff.
Yeah, I try to make sure we don't sound too crazy. And it's cool. Like, and that's what's funny is because of that, like my run group's like, "Hey, we're starting a YouTube and podcast." I was like, "Cool, let me know how I can help." And they're like, "Oh, no, we want you to do both of them." Oh, okay. So yes, the other day it was funny because they were doing tests for the YouTube, and they were trying to see. I was trying to get like, "Hey guys, we can borrow the camera my brother uses, and we have a good quality actual digital camera we can use." Like, "Oh, we're gonna do stuff on the phone." And then I was like, "What do you want me to do?" "I don't know, make it up." And so I'm just out there riffing and just freestyling and just making up stupid stuff, doing like the stereotypical "welcome to our group, make sure you smash that bell" and all that, you know. And then like some of them where I'm just normally talking, sometime where I'm just like ripping on people in my group. It was a lot of fun, but never mind. Hey, Stinky Raccoon, thanks for stopping in.
Hey, yeah, thanks for stopping in.
Shane
Appreciate
says
it,
you guys need to make a trip up to Lexington Con.
So
last weekend in March.
So I tried, I tried to do Lexington Con, but it's sold out as well. Lexington Con
Shane,
is
you say you
sold
got a
out.
booth already? That's cool.
Remember when I said somebody was saying, "Hey, you can just come use my booth"? That's him.
Cool. Yeah. No.
So I tried to get a booth at Lexington Con. But hey, maybe me and Brad will talk about it. Actually, maybe after this stream, real quick. If you're cool with us, would there be room for me and Brad to hang out at the booth and just draw and set up a little small shop? Because everything's sold out.
Your dog drank your water.
Damn it! Come on,
March 24th through 27th, I guess.
Yeah, I'd be able to take off for that. I'm pretty sure.
Make sure. What am I doing? Nothing. Oh, damn. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've only done a 2-day convention. No, it's 2 days.
Yeah, Memphis Comic Expo.
Man, I'm gonna have to have the hot tea and honey on hand. I'd be cool with that. I don't have any like. I keep track of all my races and stuff I have to do.
Yeah, Shane, you let us know. Like, it's your booth. I wouldn't want to wreck what you guys got going on. But
Hope that's not Ragnar week. Yeah, I'll double check, but yeah, that'd be cool. Super cool.
you know, our book wouldn't be out by then. But I mean, I could do some sketches, and I got some prints left over, for, like the Absolute Carnage print I did. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, keep a running list of the things me and Brad need to talk about in our meetings, and Prince is one of them. Spoiler.
Ooh, spoilers.
Spoiler for Brad.
All right, so Lexi, that'd be cool. Shoot, even if we just came and hung around for a little bit, that'd be badass. This one going to Corey, or are we keeping this one?
I don't think so, but I may message him afterwards. I texted him, the guy that's getting this, before the stream, and told him I was going to be streaming it tonight.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't get inked, then I'll make the pencils really tight.
Yeah.
But if it is,
then we'll let Corey do all the hard work.
Then yeah, I'll just leave it like this and be like, all right, y'all done. But I won't go super tight.
That's gonna be super sweet.
Yeah, he only had one request for this, and he just asked if I could put some spider webs behind it. I was like, yeah, no problem.
Spider webs on a spider totem? No thanks.
Yeah. Well, it's because usually my quotes are for minimal to no background.
Oh yeah. Well, even then, like sometimes you need it. Like you can draw a Spider-Man head sketch; it's cool. You've got the mask and all that. But like when you did Otto, I was like, dude, you got to throw one of his tentacles up in the back or something. Or like when Mike Grell did your Archangel, I thought he should have put the wing coming up a little bit, but it's still sweet.
I'm not gonna fight him over
no, it's
because it looks awesome.
Beautiful. So there's sometimes you've got to throw a little something in to differentiate it from something. Be like, that, who is this? That's just a dude. Like
dude. It's always weird drawing Spider-Gwen because her web pattern in her hood and on her arms are not black.
I don't think I ever noticed.
Yeah, they're always blue. So I'm always weary if I should draw them in as just a line.
Would you just draw them super light?
Yeah. But worst case, a colorist would go in and fix.
Yeah. Shane said it'd be cool if we worked out an exclusive cover with my business partners, Kirby Comics, and sold it there.
You let me know. I feel like we have fostered a pretty good relationship with all those commissions you got from me. So
yeah, and Corey's always down. Just we got to find somebody to color the damn thing. Like I said, if somebody didn't color B-Movie Saga soon, I'm about to get on Mario Paint and start filling it in with Mr. Paint Bucket. Take a little time, take a break, and play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on there real fast.
This is
coming
together surprisingly fast.
Cause you still got it.
I'm all for it. I'm still a pro, guys.
Knock out all your crap so we can start drawing pages.
Yep, I'm ready.
All I want to color is we get a colorist finally locked down. We're like, He's like, yeah, so you got like an 8-pager for us? You're like, well, it's technically 9 because there's a 2-page spread at the end, but yeah, plus, I mean, we got like 64 pages of issues ready for you as well. It's just like, oh God, I want to worry them.
That's why we need somebody that wants to be in the business.
Yeah. Corey said he could throw grayscale and screen tones on there. We'll just do it like a manga. Wouldn't be the worst idea ever. Actually, I love what you've been doing with that stuff. It's super
or you
cool.
you don't just do what you want to do. You run everything by me.
Yeah. You run everything through the CFO, and then the CEO will bounce it if it needs to.
HR don't run this show.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, Corey's quote unquote HR in Brute Studios.
It came with no pay raise, but lots of extra power.
Which would never happen.
Oh God. Yeah.
Imagine somebody like, this is gonna sound bad. Imagine somebody like Corey in an HR position.
Yeah. Like, oh, Ozzy Osbourne's our anti-drug advocate. Like, thanks. That seemed like a good idea. The things he says in chat, which I guess we all do.
Yeah.
We can't run for public office now because of it.
That's why when it was funny because I mentioned doing the expo, why can't I keep remember it? The one in Missouri.
Planet Comic-Con?
Planet Comic-Con. Why can't I remember that? I mentioned that to Ashley, Mrs. Scoot, and she was like, well, do you think Corey would show up? I was like, I don't know if we should. I don't know, we might get kicked out. We'll see about that.
Get a team of horses ready to drive his ass out of Iowa.
Man, just sled there.
He said he's the best person for HR because he knows what not to do.
But the thing is, not doing it. That's the problem.
It's kind of the do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, so these hookers and blow at our Christmas party are off. They're off.
Here's your.
Oh, okay. Look at what you're talking about. Oh, I see what you say about her webbing.
Yeah.
I'd say just put it in faint.
All right, I gotta. This is gonna be the first time I've ever done this, but I need to pull it off YouTube real quick. Am I still streaming?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I won't see for 15 seconds.
Okay, it's all black and white.
Gosh, I guess if we're talking about comics we've been reading recently, I'm getting mad because Marvel's really delaying their complete collections when they used to just crank them out. But I had the first 4 volumes, or I have the first 4 volumes of Jason Aaron's Thor run, and dude, I am blown away with how good that is. First of all, I loved the God Butcher arc to begin with. It was incredible. And then there's a single issue where it's just called like Once Upon a Time in Midgard or something, where it's showing, he wrote it and he said it was like his love letter of why Thor loves Midgard, why he loves Earth so much. And it's great. So like he goes to like he just like brings rain to people who needed a little rain. He shows up to like these like little festivals people invite him to, and then he goes to like drink with veterans at like the VA and stuff, and just a really cool issue. But man, he is almost Hickman level in the way that he built that story and how he didn't get overly, he's never in a rush. It's all a build, and there's like political intrigue that for some reason is fun. And then Jane Foster as Thor is so awesome, and it's just, I am upset that Volume 5 doesn't come until April or something crazy. I was absolutely loving it. Just so good. Corey said he's gonna show up in April without telling us. We'll know you by the overalls. God. Hey, so his direct quote is, I'm just gonna show up at the table in April without telling you guys I'm coming. And Matt Nick said that's what she said.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah. Yeah, Aaron, I know we've joked about it a lot, but if I don't care if I have to fund the whole damn thing. I really want to go to Thought Bubble. It would be cool just for me and Scoot to chill over there, have a couple of books out, and really, I just want to hang out. It'd be cool to have a booth to do it at.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you could come and hang out with us. Anybody over there, maybe Matt would actually come out and see you for once. I just gotta see when they start throwing up tables and what the like prerequisites are and all that, because I don't know how that goes. But it'd also just be fun to show up and just, even if we didn't have a booth, just go hang out, just go to a convention in another country. How cool would that be?
Definitely would be wondering if anybody cared that I was there.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's as far as I know, Thought Bubble is just a big artist alley, basically a big creator alley, and that's where we thrive.
Yeah.
So people may not know who you are, but they'd be like, "Hey, who are you?" And then they'd be like, "Hey, we're Scoot and Brad from America," and they'd be like, "Oh, sweet," and like we would have foreign mystique to help us. But then again, I'm sure it's a huge international crowd there, but
I'm sure
it your artwork speaks for itself. Just throw up that framed Carnage behind you, that you did, and then get your big banner out, and we can, like I said, maybe we'll have some more original comic issues by then. He said it's like 50 pounds for a table. That's sweet.
I don't know what that means.
Like 65, $75. Not too bad. Shit, it could be way more than that, but it would just be plane tickets, and like you would have to go ahead and get your passport. I've got mine already, but
How good's your passport for? Like how
10
long?
years.
10 years.
Yeah, well, yeah, mine doesn't expire until 2014, I think, or 2024.
That's cool.
I wish I could update it. My passport picture's all right. My Visa one is a model photo. It is great. He said Thought Bubble was great for everyone who wanders around stops at the table. So yeah, that's what I've always heard. And like I said, I want to go because I want to meet John Allison. He goes a lot. And then the Big Punch Studio guys have always said if I came over, like they want to give us beers, and I'm fine with going there. Like it sounds like a fun time. And then I think after Canada, we've got our biggest showing of people over there now. It'd be cool. It'd be a fun time. And then after we get done, we could stay a week and tour around wherever we wanted to go. But plan big. We were gung ho. We were trying to hook up with so many damn conventions, and then they started filling up, or not even filling up, just being filled.
Yeah.
And
so many are carrying over from 2020.
Yeah, that's what I do, dude. If I showed up next to John Allison, I'd be like Scoot, Hinata, Naruto-kun, and fanboy hard. He really is. Like, I love his stuff. Like, I recently bought Mark. Like, Mark and I've mentioned him before. He's the Moriarty to my Holmes when it comes to comics, and we buy each other books, like comic books, every year for Christmas. And it's never oh, I heard Mark talking about he wanted to read this comic, so I'm gonna buy it for him. I'm like, he's never read this comic and he needs to. He's stupid he hasn't read this. And so we buy each other books. Like first couple of years, all I got were Fantastic Four books from him. I'm like, I hate Fantastic Four. Now I'm like, all right, they're good. But I bought him Black Sad, which if you've never read Black Sad, great French graphic novel, a bande dessinée. Great, like, it might be the last bastion of like anthropomorphized animals in storytelling that's not furry. Just really solid storytelling, really great stuff, really sad. But then I bought him the first the first volume of Giant Days by John Allison and Max Sarin, and I was like, dude, I know Slice of Life isn't your cup of tea, but this dude is unmatched in dialogue and how he develops characters through it, and how he can push it to be like quirky and weird without breaking the rules of reality. And Mark's a writer. He writes like prose, long form, writes novels and stuff. And I was like, you could learn something from him. Even if you don't enjoy this, you're going to learn something. So yeah, it's if you've never read John Allison, I just finished reading all of his Bad Machinery. He has 4 volumes of that, or 10 volumes of that, and God, I was sad when it was over. He did Wicked Things and by Night. Lots of great stuff. So absolutely. So I just read Shane, I just read Mark Wade's first volume of his, where Doom found his first love, acted like he was reformed, asked her to admit, or finally got her to admit that she still loved him, and then used her soul and body and flesh to cast a spell to become stronger. That was a great run. It was rough. Hickman's run of Fantastic Four. I've got the first and third volume of it. It is fantastic. Unfortunately, volume 2 is super hard to find. The omnibus was supposed to come out in November. Funny enough, I was going to buy myself the omnibus and a copy for Mark, because Mark's the one who got me into Fantastic Four. Me and him are like Hickman acolytes. It was supposed to come out on his birthday, and then it got pushed back to January, and I've got to go check, because if it is, my pull box is probably weighs 15 pounds now. But yeah, Hickman's Fantastic Four, super good. And Aaron, no, I have not read Exit Stage Left. Is that Allison, or is that something else? Old school player jumped in, threw herself some little bottles in there.
Hey man, good to see you. Happy Friday.
Yeah.
I was actually off today. I actually have a 4-day weekend this weekend, so it's pretty
They're gonna
rad.
draw a lot.
Draw a lot.
Yeah, that Shane, that story, I remember reading, I was like, what are they getting at? Are they trying to make it like Doom's becoming reformed and he's gonna be a good guy now, a pure good guy, and he's gonna, but then the girl will leave him and that'll be what breaks him. He can never be good again because his first love is like, nah. Doom was tricking her and then wore her skin as armor. Like, it got so dark. I was like, how did Marvel let this go? Funny enough, I hate the design of Doom's armor in that. Like, I don't like how it looks, but the story is so metal, it doesn't matter. It was so good. It was tough, but it was fun. It was, I liked it. I was reading it, I was like, sending Mark a message. I was like, why is Sue Storm so sexy in this? Like, what is going on? And then at the end, Mark Wade's talking about that his idea, his thesis behind her was the hot soccer mom. And I'm like, okay, that works. He said, so Exit Stage Left is something else. It's a good non-furry anthropomorphized animal story. It's about Snagglepuss. I don't know, might have gotten us demonetized with Snagglepuss.
We hadn't made it to monetization. We're good.
Oh.
Hey, thanks, man.
Oh, Snagglepuss, the cartoon character. How did I know? Is that who I'm thinking of?
Still working, man. That's rough.
Yeah, it's the Hanna-Barbera character. You know him, right?
Yeah.
The pink little guy, the pink tiger. I guess he's a cat of some sort. Snagglepuss, I guess, gave that away. God. Oh, that looks like it's gonna be a bit of a downer. Yeah, I'll look into that, man. That looks cool, actually. Super cool. He said, Shane said, a year before the story, Doom thinks he's worthy to lift Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, and finds out he's unworthy, and I believe that makes him turn to making a deal with the demons. Yeah, I love when the demons try to trash talk him, and Doom still isn't going. He's just like, we made a deal together. I am not your servant. Which is Doom. That's a very Doom thing to do. I think, like, if Doom ever gets introduced to the MCU, that's what I'm afraid of, is I'm afraid they're going to miss the subtlety of Doom. Doom is not just, I'm quirky and I'm gonna use this ray to burn the earth to ash because I'm a villain, or I'm gonna take over because I'm the strongest. He's got this idea that he is right. It's like, it's not even megalomania. It's something more than that. It's almost a religious cult-like zeal, belief in himself that he knows how to rule the world. And I think there's actually one of the few like alternate universes in Marvel that's a utopia. Doom is the ruler, and so it's like one of those things that made him question everything. But Oh, that's a Shane said he's a nerd. He's a Marvel encyclopedia, dude.
Yeah.
Welcome to the crowd. It's
So fun fact about me is I don't know probably a 50th of the shit Brad knows. So I just like my thing is I study mostly the artwork, and I look at the artwork, and then Brad suggests dope stories, and I read them.
And I think that's I always joke that like if you want nerds to get to like something, you make it dense and hard to get into, and then but that's the fun to me. The fun is we've called it that we've called it I've coined the term on here before, but comics are literary archaeology where there's no way you can start. You can't find the first day of Rome, but you can find this battle from 10 AD, and then you can find some text from 4 BC that tells you why that battle happened, and you can fill in the gaps. So it's like you can read, like people now who read Spider-Man who didn't grow up in the 90s or haven't backtracked into the 90s are probably like, who the hell is Ben Reilly? What is he doing as Spider-Man? And they're confused, but then they can go back and read and go, oh, now this makes sense. And so you fill in the gaps in this very interesting, unique way. Like you would never think of doing that with normal books. Like I'm not going to start reading the Dresden Files at book 12. I'm not going to start with Two Towers. Some people do occasionally, but most of the times, if you're reading Harry Potter, you're starting with Sorcerer's Stone. You're starting with book 1, and then you progress through. But comic books are a pool full of freezing cold water. You don't tiptoe in. You just jump ass over tea kettle and hope for the best. And after you get used to the cold, it's super fun. It's so like once again, I've been filling in. Fantastic Four may have been one of. There's some stuff like, of course, with the trailer dropping, everybody's asking me about Moon Knight. I'm like, guys, I don't know a ton about him other than like he was in Brubaker's run of Secret Avengers. He had a really cool crossover with Rogue and Avengers versus X-Men, and some fun stuff here and there. But like Fantastic Four was probably my big like Avengers, Spider-Man, X-Men, all the big Marvel like cornerstones. Fantastic Four is the one I'm weakest in, and I've been filling in the gaps, and it is so much fun to color in those corners of your knowledge.
Almost like archaeology. Go on.
What if Doctor Doom became source? Oh, okay. Yeah, and I love that. Like, the best comparison, of course, with comics, which you can disagree with me, but you're wrong. The best comparison to comics are either professional wrestling or soap operas, because they keep a running narrative that never resets. And now, so you got like New 52 where they tried to retcon the entire universe, but even Scott Snyder was like, yeah, that's not happening. And just kept telling Batman, he has had Batman in an established universe, and, they'll tell different offshoot stories, or they'll try to modernize it or pull it into the future, but you can never just go, okay, everything, well, this is Marvel 616, but Spider-Man was born in 2000, and all that stuff written before him didn't happen. The fans don't accept it. The fans who, as much as we should be careful being gatekeepers, because we never want to keep anyone out of this little world we love, we also are the keepers of the canon, because half the times we know more than what the writers know. We've dug deep into it. Now we're getting a new age of writers where they're real hardcore nerds, like, and you get people who like Hickman and Jason Aaron who can pull these threads from years and years ago. But you just have to ignore the fact that Tony Stark built his armor in Vietnam, not during like a Middle Eastern conflict in the movies. And so why is Tony Stark not like 112? Because he can't. Yeah. He doesn't need to be. And there's a let's draw a parallel. There's a famous saying, how many angels can dance on the head of a pin? And it's supposed to be like a thought thing about religion and everything. But the answer, if you ever want the answer to how many angels can dance on the head of a pin, it's as many as needed, because angels are there to support you if you're into that kind of thing. So an infinite number or none, depending on how many you need. And how old is Spider-Man? Or why isn't Spider-Man 70 because he can't be. Spider-Man he's perpetually 30 something. And
contrary to popular belief, he's not always 16.
yeah, and then you just ignore it. You don't care that that they had stuff where he dealt with Nixon, or shit, even getting into like he was there for September 11th. Yeah. He was at Ground Zero on 9/11 in New York City when he was like 30 something. Guys, that was 21 years ago.
That's so crazy.
He's not 50. And you know why? Oh, who cares?
Yep.
Because we just tell stories. They're just fun, modern myths. And I mean, I guess like the Olympians of old, our new gods don't age. And you just go with it.
Like the pharaohs of old.
Yeah. The blood of the gods is going to flow like the rivers of ancient Babylon. It was trash. Just said Batman and Green Lantern. So I've never read Green Lantern, but I did read Court and City of Owls, and I'm not a big DC guy. Not out of any kind of hate. I just haven't been into it. I like Superman, and I'll read anything Scott Snyder does. And I've picked up I read the key things: Long Halloween, Killing Joke, Nightfall, things like that. Those I've read. Loved them. Long Halloween was incredible. What else did I read? I read something. I read one story. Maybe it was Batman Black and White, where they cured Harvey Dent, and then his psychiatrist, I want to say, ended up being a twin, and it split his personality again and kind of drove him crazy. Great stuff. Really cool stuff. Superman Red Sun is a favorite. Really cool. I really love the Soviet era in terms of studying. It's not like I want to time travel to Soviet Russia and live. Really cool idea of nature versus nurture for Superman. Fun stuff. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people say New 52 was not that awesome. Did they ever retcon that to where it was an alternate universe, or is it still going today? If somebody who knows what's going on, let me know. Love Super Heavy from. I love Super Heavy.
I love the artwork from New 52.
I want to. I want to read Snyder and Capullo's We Have Demons, because he read the really opening. Good. Yeah, I know Corey's been reading it, and it's just so fun because they were pitches like, guess what? We get to do anything we want, and super fun. Shane said, "I just pretend the Marvel universe takes 20 years to make one turn around the sun."
Yeah,
they're actually out where like Uranus is, and their revolution takes forever. Like since Pluto's discovery, it hasn't made a trip around the sun.
That's true.
Yeah, it takes a long time for Pluto, but that's because Pluto's a damn Kuiper Belt object and is way out in the middle of nowhere.
Hypercrystal belt.
He said they did convergence and then rebirth, so I'm guessing some stuff happened there. I don't know. I saw a really funny like 2-panel comic where like a janitor was sweeping the DC office, and he had like all the characters swept up, and there was the old DC logo, and he said, "What do you want me to do with 70 years of canon?" And the guy lifts the rug up and he sweeps it under there, and then he leaves it folded over, and it's the new DC logo. It was really clever. It was really, really clever. I'm not sure how DC fans took it, but what can you do? Oh, I think we said also another thing we were going to do is after we were going to have John over and do a Boba drawing one night sometime after the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, don't worry. Our Star Wars days are not over.
Oh yeah, no, we
not at all.
We got into some deep Star Wars conversations not too long after that ended, and I was like, I got to go home, and we kept talking for like another 30 minutes about it. New 52 turned into Rebirth and made enough canon, but the universe stayed young. Okay. I don't know. I just want to know if like Strongman Superman, who threw a car into a rock on Action Comics #1, is still the same one we see today. I know they took his underwear away, his red underwear, but
he's got it back now, though, right?
Does he? I have no idea.
I think when Bendis took over, he had his underwear back.
Oh, okay. I read Bendis's first one where the all of Earth got sent to the gosh, is it the negative? No, it's not the negative zone. That's where Annihilus lives.
Dark Dimension. No, that's where Dormammu lives.
It's where they sent Zod, and they send their prisoners. Man, DC people, we're over here like, yeah, and Spider-Man's left toe is actually 32 millimeters longer than the right one.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what's Batman's sidekick's name? I don't know.
Sparrow?
Sparrow, yeah. Some kind of bird. I think ostrich, maybe. I don't know.
Bird. Can't catch a disease from a bird.
Batman, and he fights the clown guy. And like
the clown guy.
My favorite ongoing joke was Laugh Man, the Batman who laughs.
Laugh Man who bats.
God, I can't remember because they was in Smallville, so I should know this. They show it like this little like panel, like a little glass panel where they send them into the little jail alternate dimension. The Phantom, is it the Phantom Realm or Phantom Zone? Maybe somebody's gonna correct me. Just let me know. This isn't a podcast. You don't have to just yell at your speakers. You can correct me. I saw something once that said the closest you'll ever know to what it feels like to be in a ghost is listening to a podcast when they can't remember something you know.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what's the red and black symbiote guy? And you're like, hey, it's Carnage.
Carnage.
Come on, man. And he said, my show co-host said she's gonna make me at least love Black Canary. Which Annie, throw if you've got the URL, throw it up in the chat, because Annie, our sister Ann, who is
Bedia Rice.
Yeah, medium rice is which is what I had for dinner. Is she hosts a cosplay? I guess I don't know.
Video cast.
Yeah, like this, a stream. I don't know why I was struggling with the word there. She does a cosplay stream, and Annie makes tons of cool costumes and stuff, and has a lot of people on there. So if you like hearing people talk about nerdy on a different side of culture, go ahead. Annie is one of the truest nerd girls you'll ever run into your life. In fact, it's made dating harder because I'm like, you're not a real nerd girl. I know what they're like. I know a nerdy woman when I
get out of here with them Superman panties. I know what you're doing.
Phantom Zone. Aaron probably pulled his hair. He said, "Phantom Zone, you got there." I got there. That was I went from point A through Q to get to B. But yeah, that was a fun one where he moved the whole Earth, and then they had to get it back. And there's, gosh, is it the Atom who was the guy who can shrink, who was kind of floating out in space, and he's like, guys, where did Earth go? It was I've heard that people say this, and once again, people who actually read it could correct me, is like a lot of older fans of Superman aren't digging Bendis' stuff, but newer fans are. And then like me, I'm a fan of his work, so I really enjoyed it. But like in true Bendis fashion, I was like, I'm gonna try to keep up and trade for him, and now he has like 700 trades already, and I can't keep up. She said the show is Cosplay Cafe in the back of the Cereal Box Podcast Network on YouTube. They are doing a fundraiser virtual con this weekend. Scoot donated art. Oh, you did? Oh, so Scoot, if you guys want to win some art, we'll have to post that up on your thing.
Speaking of Superman, I'll actually be drawing a piece of a Superman to give so that they can give it away.
Oh, is that, you haven't drawn it yet?
No.
Oh, cool. So yeah, if you guys like, he will definitely have underwear. I can guarantee you that.
If I make it to his crotch area, he'll have underwear.
Oh God.
Bone just killed Brown and White.
Scoot's afraid of the Kryptonian crotch.
Definitely not afraid of it.
Have you ever seen the scene in Ted 2 where they announced the new Superman? It's like a 16-second clip, but you should watch it sometime. You don't have to watch it on stream, but we'll watch it after this. You'll enjoy it. Just for the sheer like the agony that all fans realize when people get cast in terrible roles. That's cool. I didn't know you were donating artwork. Are they raising is the fundraiser for anything in particular, or is it fundraising for their own endeavors? Because that sounds like something we need to do.
Yeah, it is.
Like, let's just raise some money tonight.
Yeah, if you guys just want to donate, I'll put my PayPal in the chat here.
Hit that tip. It's like Scoot's like the just chatting Twitch girls who just like, here's my tip jar, my Amazon wish list, buy me stuff if you want.
I'll give you my Amazon wish list.
The fundraiser supports the actress Valerie Perrine, who was the original in the original Superman movie. She has Parkinson's, so we're raising money for her treatment. Damn, Parkinson's is a rough thing. So good on them. He said, Aaron said, not the Bendis stuff, but the Tom Taylor son of Kal-El is pretty darn good. Dang good. 2 other series, Robins and Robin, are fantastic. Cool. I feel like one day, like, I need to, when I finally find love again and date, I need to fall in love with like a girl who's into DC, and then we can just like cross streams and talk about, like, we can go on dates
at the urinal.
At the urinal, yeah, that's the kind of girl I'm looking for. We've already established that Corey always chooses the middle urinal to weird everybody out, but
that's a legit conversation we had.
Yeah, that was a joke. But that way, like, we can go on dates and she'll be like, buy these trades, and I'd be like, all right, well, you buy these trades from Marvel, and we can bond over how good comics are.
She's like, no, Spider-Man's stupid.
Oh, and I'm like, well, we're in the South and we can beat women here. I'm just kidding, we don't beat women.
We personally don't.
Yeah, no, people get beat here. Spousal abuse is a thing, just not with us. I don't have a spouse to abuse.
I have a spouse, but she definitely doesn't get abused.
Yeah, Aaron makes sense. He said Robins and Robin are confusing because all there is an S. It's kind of like there's a rule in writing, especially like novels and stuff, that it's never a smart idea to have 2 characters with the same first letter or even a similar name. So like you wouldn't want to have a comic or a book where your 2 main characters are Scoot and Scott, because it's too confusing. There are of course some exceptions, like Ed, and Eddie is a good example. You did that intentionally, that there were 3 different of them, and but yeah, it's true. And if there's multiple, if it's like a bank of urinals, so there's like 5, he puts out of order signs on all of them.
Bank of urinals.
That's what the hell would you call it? Is it a herd
of
of
gaggle of urinals?
It's a college of urinals.
God.
A waterfall. What's our herd of urinals, guys? Because it's like a kaleidoscope of butterflies or a blessing of unicorns.
A murder.
That's
a murder of urinals.
I think the murder is those stalls. And I'll tell you, you never know true courage. So you go in the bathroom at East Borda, and those guys just rip. There's just no qualms. They're like, I don't have time to play around in cute poo. I just gotta blow and go.
Brad's in there like,
it's like they're shooting so hard, it's like they could phantom diarrhea. It's just I said the Robbins books are on the same issue, so it's like right there together and confusing. A brood of peapods.
Peapods.
Eddie said, God, let's wheel this in. Eddie said, if anyone is interested in the fundraiser, we have panels with celebrity guests this weekend. We have an episode of the Cosplay Cafe coming tomorrow, which is why Annie has my mic. We share a microphone right now to podcast. We'll get her our own very soon. I was going to Best Buy. This will show you how bad I felt. As I messaged her and asked if she still needed a mic, and she responded, not late, but I was in my car and left Best Buy, and I was so sick I couldn't walk 20 feet back in.
Annie, I'll make you a deal. The microphone that I really want is like $250. If you buy that one, I'll give you mine.
What'd you say?
That's it. If she really, I'll make a deal with her. The mic that I want is $250. She buys that one, I'll give her mine.
Dude, Shane, you are not wrong. Dark Ages is a series Scoot is actually caught up on. I think, unless we're on issue 3, so I haven't been to the.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably haven't bought the newest issue.
I haven't bought the newest issue. I haven't been to the cellar in a month because I just busy and.
So no spoilers for anything past issue 3.
Dark Ages
is amazing. Plus, Iban Coelho is one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, and like the whole first issue of Spidey narrating is just so amazing. Good. I would love to see. Aaron said, I'd love to see the fundraiser. My grandfather has Parkinson's, so I'm a big advocate for anything fundraising about it. That's cool, man. Sorry to hear about your grandfather. That super sucks, man.
Kind of like our dad with Alzheimer's.
Yeah. We did a thing because we had a very small service for our dad because of COVID. But I was glad we got to have a service at all. And of course, he was cremated, and we asked people, instead of flowers or any kind of like funerary gift, to make a donation to the Alzheimer's Association. And we actually got a lot of people donated. It was really, it was touching in a way, because it's something that, like, we don't get any gain. It's not coming over and giving us flowers or an empty thing. It's like, hey, these people asked us to donate, and this is a good cause, and I think we got a couple of $1,000 out of it. It was cool. I mean, obviously they're not going to cure Alzheimer's based on our research grant,
but when they do, they better thank us.
But yeah, it was cool. It was very cool and very touching.
Hey, and we managed to talk about our dad without Brad saying he croaked.
Oh man, it was coming.
Trying to figure out how to get it in there.
Sounds like first dates. Ayo.
Hey. We should start doing in honor of dad sayings, because he had some good ones.
Oh man, my favorite is always let's make like horse shit and hit the trail.
Yeah,
that was always a good one.
My favorite of his is he had no qualms about ugly somebody he thought was ugly. So he would say, man, she's so ugly, you gotta sneak up on a glass of water.
Oh yeah, or make a freight train take it to her.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh man, so guys, we're talking about dad. So I don't know wherever you guys are at, but we get these spam calls, and real estate right now is so hot in America that people are literally going door to door, knocking on people's door, asking if they can buy their house. No for sale sign out front, no interest, just like, hey, you live in a hot spot, I'll pay you this if you can move out in a month. And just so they can flip it as quick as possible. And it's getting annoying because now they're just calling phones. And so my cell phone, I have this one right here. The number I have was originally our dad's. In back, this will show Scoot and I's age, like 2004.
It was originally his bag phone in his car.
Yeah, Dad got another phone through work, or had to get another phone through work. So he gave it to me and Scoot to hold on to and make calls for emergencies. And I've had his phone ever since. So for years, I'd get calls where people thought it was him, and I'd pass on his number. Well, now he's gone. I mean, he's been gone for almost 2 years now. And I'll get calls about property because him and my mom own property together because they've been married forever. And the other day they called me, and I was just in a bad mood at work. And this guy calls and he's like, hey, Jimmy. And if you guys know, my dad's name was Jimmy Wayne Starnes. Never went by Jimmy. He was Wayne. It's kind of like somebody calling Scoot Daniel. You know, either they want money out of him,
now it's out there,
or now they don't. Huh?
Said now it's out there.
Well, we've said your real name on here, your legal name, but you know they don't know him, and so they're like, Jimmy, and I'm like, no, not Jimmy. This is his son, Brad, and they're like, oh, is there any way I can contact Jimmy? I was like, well, actually, he died in August 2020, but I was having a pretty good day, but thanks for bringing it up and leveling out my day for me. And dude, the people, the new hires at work were like, oh my God, what happened? The dude on the phone was like, oh, I'm so sorry, but have a good day. And just like hug up. Like,
I'm surprised he didn't say, well, hey, do you want to sell his house? I'm surprised.
Yeah, they're bloodsuckers, man. They're just like, they're
it's
right
a seller's market right
they're
now.
They're not the same level of scum as the people who call asking for your credit cards.
Yeah.
But they're not far off. Like, those people who call are like, oh, I need your credit card info. They are like the child pedophiles. And these people asking you for your wanting to sell your property are just like petty thieves. They're still annoying. They're still criminals. But
you want me to give you my social security number and you're going to give me a lot of money? Okay, hold on just a second. Let me get it for you.
Yeah.
Like, who falls for that shit?
Yeah. And
unfortunately, a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people. There's a great guy on YouTube who will string those people on forever.
Yeah.
And I love it because he'll have a voice thing that warps it so he sounds like an old lady. And where he's like, all right, I'm redeeming the gift cards now. And he's like, no, why are you redeeming them? No. And he's like screaming. He's like, and okay, well, that one's redeemed. Calm down, son. And like, don't redeem him. And he's like, I'm redeeming. It's so funny because it's like he stringed that guy on for like 3 days. And like, you guys are scum.
Yeah.
Don't act like you have a legit job. Get out of here.
So I'm really enjoying drawing webs again.
I was about to say, dude, you're gonna finish on time. It looks like. Looks like you got a little bit of hand and maybe some of the hood.
Yeah.
Because I
No, the
I'm
hood.
say that because her web and her.
No, the hood's done.
I would say her web and her body's super dark, and I can see it on stream real good.
It's only because I'm only rendering the black parts of her costume.
Oh, okay.
So those will be darker because her costume being white, I don't want to put too much line into it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I hope your guy likes this. He's gonna be like, I requested just a bust. Like, I guess I'll draw another one. Shit.
Yeah.
My me.
Well, he bought this sketch cover and sent it to me, so
No, we can get another one. I still can't believe those sketch covers because I mean, you're not a fan of the paper, right? Like, how do they not have industry like Bristol Smooth?
So some of them aren't bad. I can tell you right now, if you get me a sketch cover and it has this little flap, please give me permission to rip it off because I hate it. I absolutely hate it. It gets in my way, and like if I want to hold the book, I'm scared I'm gonna mess it up. But anyway, but some of the paper's not bad. The only thing I don't like about it is I draw mainly on Bristol Smooth. This paper that sketch covers are on is a little more toothy, so it takes the pencil a little harder, and I already naturally have a heavy hand.
Oh.
So sometimes it can get a little dark when I don't want it to. But I mean, you get used to it after a while. But yeah, it's definitely not the best. But I'm enjoying the hell drawn out of this thing right now. Another thing, just update on my artwork. So doing all these these remarks for the Fathom cover. I've been researching Michael Turner's artwork probably heavier than I ever have. Just because I always want to make his characters look like his characters. Because when it comes down to it, Aspen's literally a sexy chick just a sexy chick. Like, she doesn't have a costume,
or a tattoo, or
anything that differentiates her, a hairstyle that differentiates. She's just a hot chick with long hair. So the way Michael Turner draws her is how I see her. So anyway, back to my point. I've been researching his artwork a lot, and he never really did a lot of heavy rendering, but he used a lot of lines. So I've incorporated that a lot. Like, if you look at the Craven that I posted, his face has a lot of lines in it, and I actually enjoy that a little bit more than doing the heavy shadow on a face. So I'm kind of using that in this a little bit, to where usually I would go into her hand and I would think about where the shadows would be, and I'd heavy shadow it. And a lot of times I would get it, and then when I'd be done with it, I didn't like it. So actually leaving her hand like this, to me, looks better. So it's actually, funny enough, it's simpler, but it looks better. To me, anyway. So little change up in my style on certain things. Now, I still love shadowing, don't get me wrong. But it's one of those things where you have to kind of practice restraint. And I'm kind of learning to practice restraint a little more.
You have less to shade, it's quicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is Jake the guy getting this?
Huh?
So he said he could take the cover off.
I only know him by his Instagram name. So, Jake, are you the one getting this?
You're so cool. Welcome. I love when the people are getting their commissions.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd be able to pop in. Actually, I hope you like it. The camera angle's kind of weird, so her head actually looks bigger than it is right now. So, at the end, I'll bring it up close and you can actually see it. I'm having a lot of fun with this thing right now.
We also have to do the free 10,000 follower giveaway drawing, because we were going to do 5,000 and then we were going to do 6,000, we were going to do 7,000. It just happened too fast. So we haven't forgotten about that. He said, yep, that's him. Sweet.
Sweet, man. Welcome. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you didn't, if you're just joining us, I think, was it a bust that was requested? And then Scoot said, since you waited long enough, you got more. I don't know if you guys discussed that or not. But...
No, I told him that I was just going to be doing a little bit extra. So, yeah, because you waited patiently, and I very much appreciate that, because drawing during Christmas is always really hard for me because of my day job, my full-time job. Sometimes I work at night.
It's a day job.
So I'm throwing a little bit of extra in here. So thanks for being so patient. I always tell people, if you're patient with me, I promise I'll make it worth your while. Because the last thing I ever want is somebody to put their hard-earned money into me and then not be happy with it.
Yeah, a long way from that first Hulk and Wolverine commission. Yeah, that we your first commission.
It's still a big piece.
Oh no, it was awesome.
Big. It wasn't like, there's definitely flaws I look at now, but for the most part, I still like it. It's still a good piece. Funny enough, if you guys ever see that, you can see it on my Instagram. It's one of my first posts.
Oh God.
It's an 11x17 full cover quality, and I'm gonna disclose this. I only charged $100 for that because it was my first commission.
Yeah. It's 11x17 with full background.
Full background, two characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll never happen again. But again, that's one of those things you kind of have to sacrifice when you're trying to get your name out there.
Yeah.
And even so, now I still, I probably put more time into what I charge for any of the things that I charge or any of the commissions I do. But if I get my name out there and I become somebody.
Yeah, because what are your head sketches right now?
$60.
Yeah, because I remember, God, you were doing for like 50 shipped or something.
That one Christmas when I first did them, not this past Christmas, but Christmas 2020, when I first started doing those, I started them $35.
Oh.
And then I quickly realized that I was putting way too much time into them. And for me, it could go one or two ways. You either make the artwork less, or you charge more. And there's no way I could make the artwork less, because I just want every piece that I send out to be not a wow piece, but I want somebody to be happy with it. So I increased the price, and based on the time that I was putting into it. So
yeah, because I remember that, I was like, dude, you charge more.
Yeah.
It's I still encounter that a lot. Is I get people timid when I'll like, hey, I want to do a commission. Like, I just got a commission of Elsa Bloodstone from a guy, and I mean, I don't know. I think he just hit 5,000 followers maybe or something, and yeah, his art style is very, I don't want to call it simple. It's very minimalistic compared to Scoot's, but he still was like, I'm gonna do this thing 9x12. It's gonna be penciled and inked. 125 sound good shipped? And I'm like, yep. And he's like, you didn't even barter. I was like, it's a good price. Yeah. Like, who cares? Like,
there's, for the most part, when I quote prices, people are usually like, okay. But I have had the people that say, okay, that's a little more than I thought, which that's fine. I understand. I definitely don't get offended by it when somebody's like, oh, I ain't paying that.
Yeah,
I get it. But
you get some people too who just don't understand what goes into it, because once again,
a lot goes into it.
You're not paying for the material. You can buy everything you need to draw for $10.
Yeah,
but it's all the skill and the time, and it's not just the 2 hours you're putting into this.
I was getting ready to say that was going to be my next point. Yeah, like I spent probably an hour laying this thing out before the stream.
Yeah.
Because I don't have 3 hours to put into it on a stream, because nobody wants to be here that long with me and Brad, but and Brad's got to get home at some point.
Yeah, I run tomorrow.
So yeah, the time that I quote is usually the drawing time. It's not the layout time. It's not the blue line time.
And even think about how much time you've just put into the skill in general.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't pay a pro basketball player for his time on the court. You pay it for all the training he puts in and all the hours he practices and all of that. So I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, people ghost on stuff like that. She said she got ghosted when she takes a price.
I've been ghosted after doing the pieces. I have 3 pieces in my portfolio right now that 2 were from one person. Actually, I did 4 pieces for him because I don't know when I'm going to get to things. I usually don't charge up front. If somebody wants to pay me up front and it guarantees their spot, that's fine. I'll take it. Kind of like this one. He's already paid me for it. But I said, dude, I guarantee I will get it to you. You pay me, you're going to get it. But I did 4 pieces for one person, and he was saying, man, I want 9 pieces, and all the pricing sounds good. Let's do it. And I was like, all right, cool, man. As soon as I get going, I'll send them to you. Once you're happy, man, we'll do the payment. Well, I finished 4 of them, and I had 1 more to do for him. I was like, dude, I hadn't heard from you. And he never got back with me. So I've managed to sell 2 of them. I still have 2 of them left, which is funny enough, a Venom and that symbiote's taking over Spider-Man head sketch.
Those will fly at a convention, whatever first convention we go to.
And then the one that I did of Vision, half Vision, half Machine.
Yeah.
I can't get a hold of him either.
Really?
He had told me.
Did he comment on the post?
I don't know. He's on Twitter. He messaged me on Twitter. He told me about a month and a half or 2 months back that he had some car trouble and he wasn't able to pay me right then. And I was like, that's no problem. I mean, I'll hang on to it. But I've since reached out to him and haven't heard anything.
Like, I tell people, you've got a 1 month period to pay for that shit. Like, and me, I'm of the mind that I try to pay everybody up front because I've had times where I've requested commissions, and then I'm a little better with money now, but when I was a little more broke buying original art, which is not a good idea, I had a couple of times where I had commissions lined up, and when they got to me, I didn't have the money. And so I'm just like, hey, I don't care if it takes you 6 months. Here's the whatever amount. Give me my stuff whenever you can. And I would just rather do that.
So I've thought about, I'm not going to charge up front for head sketches, but I'm thinking about, if I do any commission that's over $100,
yeah,
I'm thinking about at least half.
Yeah.
Up front.
I mean, there's like trusted sources. Clearly, if Shane wants something, just like sure.
Yeah, no. If you worked with me, I'm gonna work with you. So.
Yeah, still.
And for the most part, I kind of feel like I'm complaining a little bit, but it's only happened to me two times. So.
Well, one almost 4 damn pieces. Though.
Yeah, one
That's
almost
a significant chunk of change.
Yeah, and what really sucked is at the time I really needed that money.
Yeah.
So.
And Scoot was way nicer about it. Like, I was like, dude, you gave him a week. Start selling them. He's like, well, yeah. I don't know. I'll give him another week. I was like, you should just, like, dog, you. And then when
I told Brad, I said, yeah. So I finally messaged him and said, this is your last chance. And Brad said, didn't you say that last time? I said, no, I didn't. He said, I would have said that 3 days ago.
Yeah. Just, I mean, you gotta be that way. You gotta, I don't know. There's no promise.
Yeah. You see this flap over here giving me hell. And now I'm at the point now that I'm like into it, so I don't want to just take the time to rip this thing off of it.
Yeah, and he said, as a costume maker, I charge half up front, but my materials cost more for a drawing. Yes, that is a solid business plan. Do not ever, unless it's for like a friend. Well, I don't know, not even a friend. At least make them buy the material for you.
Yeah, because I mean, for the most part, unless it's a sketch cover that I have to go find, which doesn't usually happen. Most people send them to me, or I have some on hand. But if it's on Bristol board, Brad went and destroyed all the Michaels in Memphis one Black Friday, so I'm set for a while.
That was 2019.
I mean, look down there. There's still books galore. Yeah. So
and those stores limped for a year. Like, they didn't restock for a while. Like the Mansa Musa lowered screwed up the market value of Bristol board by buying it all. And I'm with you, Shane. I dialed it back last year, but like 2020, I was like, my student loans got deferred and I had money. And then like I found a bunch of artists who were just like, I got big on Instagram where I was just finding artists and be like, I want you to do this. And like, there's a guy named EdBot5000 who I love his art.
Yeah. He's a good dude too.
Yeah, super good dude. But I was just like, he was doing $10 sketches and I got one. And then I got two more. And then I bought some original pieces from him. Then I got Scoot a couple of sketches. Then I got some other people. And I just like, I supported him so much in 2020. He sent me a Christmas card, a hand-drawn Christmas card. So it was pretty good in the end.
Speaking of hand-drawn Christmas cards, stay tuned to my Patreon.
Yeah.
When it goes live.
We'll even do holiday cards, so whatever you celebrate.
Yeah,
we'll
whatever holiday you celebrate. We're all people here. We all need to support each other. We all need to support each other.
We'll draw you Magneto if you want him floating a menorah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, actually.
Yeah. I've got an idea for a holiday issue of if I ever was writing at Marvel. It's like, it's basically an anthology where a bunch of different stories are all going on at once. But I've got several of them that I don't talk about on stream and I don't write notes for on a computer, so they can't be stolen. I think it's a good idea.
I'm looking like, yeah, I'll be done.
8:45. About to coast into this.
I did not think I was going to finish this.
I always believed in you.
We're just on spider webs now. Not even the detailed spider webs, just the ones in the back.
Oh.
Which I kind of made it like she's kind of grabbing him. Grabbing onto a spider web.
Yeah. Got him wrapped around her. It's always like I love a good Spider-Man photo when you see it and you're like, how did he continue swinging? Wouldn't he have gotten like, guillotined by those webs?
It's just like right here on she's got a wad of in her hand, a wad of web in her hand.
My favorite Western movie, A Fistful of Web.
Fistful of web. Like she wouldn't be able to do that. Like,
yeah, but it's one of those things like
it's Todd McFarlane web, so
yeah. There's I know a couple of times I was writing Wilder Talents and I was like there's a scene where there's like some ancient history and I was like, we don't have to get too detailed in researching ancient history. We don't need everything to be historically accurate down to the clothing. I was like, and if anybody calls us out on it, we'll kindly point out that there were aliens on the previous page. Like, yeah. You don't so it's like, oh well, some nerd's gonna come up and neckbeard you and be like, her web's impractical, like she got bit by a radioactive spider and survived, get out of my face. Oh no, she said I joined the show off your comic art Facebook page and it ruined me. Yeah, I do that. I found when like I have a lot of hashtags I follow. Like I follow the Superior Spider-Man hashtag on Instagram. So like one day a dude just posted a sweet auto and I was like, hey dog, this still for sale? He's like, yeah, cool. And I stalked a couple of guys. Like I know a guy, Matthew Lukes is a comic artist, writer. He did a bunch of stuff for Oni Press and he's doing stuff for First Second Books now. Does these incredible watercolors and his mermaid stuff was awesome because it was like mermaids in Japan, and so one was just like in an onsen. It was really cool, and like he wasn't responding to my comments on his post, my DMs on Twitter or Instagram, so I found his email eventually and got him, and he's like, oh yeah, good job, because I'm bad about responding to that kind of stuff, but yeah, I'll sell it to you and I've got it and it's sweet. So like when I want a piece of art, I will hunt people down.
All right, I think I'm donezo.
All right, time for the up close reveal
on this.
Can't believe it, a first one back and we're actually on time, and
it's not just a headshot.
Nobody muted their mics or anything.
Man, people are still in the chat.
Yeah, we had a good showing. Everybody sounds like you guys missed us as much as we missed you.
I've got so many 005 Pigma microns. Where's an 8 at? Ashley maybe.
Just use a Sharpie.
Nope. Well, I mean, it would work. Oh, that's a red one. This is what happens when your brother no longer allows you to ink. You get a thing full of pens.
Should have been faster drawn.
It's so many 0-0. I'll just use a 3, I guess.
Hayashi, whatever you're doing with drawing, you keep it up. Just except for those scary monsters in the hallway photos.
Yeah, that thing goes back straight to hell.
10 o'clock at night. I was going to bed, man. Come on. Aaron, it's okay. There's always enough of me in the chat, which is BS. You can bring some for next time. Don't misspell your name.
Sometimes I'm scared of that. Okay, we'll bring it up close now. Hold on. With the light here.
I think you got it. Yeah, that looks killer, man. Very good. Very
good. I'm pretty stoked about this one.
You should be. It looks good. Looks darn good.
And Jake, if you're still in the chat, I know somebody that would really want to ink this. Is that the 8? Son of a bitch, I knew you had it. It's all good. I don't need it. I've already signed. At least I know where my 8s went. And my 5. Hey. There we go. All right. We're back to us.
Back to us.
Back. Hey, thanks, man. I'm glad you like it. Glad you like it. Super fun to do. It's my first commission that's not a head sketch. Actually, did I do a commission last year that wasn't a head sketch?
I feel like you did. 2021 was a long damn year. You had to have done. It was
long. But I didn't really take a lot of commissions last year because I was drawing the pages.
Let me pull up your Instagram real fast. I feel like you did. We've got a couple minutes. These people can wait. Let's see. Scoot Hoot Riot.
Hey man, thanks for popping in. I will message you as soon as I get this in the mail so that you have tracking for it.
I guess the full body stuff you did was our stuff, like your cover, and then
yeah, it was mostly
the homage, the Bagley homage is full body.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might have been it though. Oh nope, there's a Phoenix. You did.
Oh yeah, Phoenix. Okay.
You had a couple.
Yeah, I had a couple.
Lots of head sketches. Saved all your full body for creative stuff.
Yeah, Hayashi, that monster in the hallway, it was awful. It was terrible. You did a good job.
Yeah, no.
But it was awful.
It did its job.
It did its job well. Yeah, I hated it. I hated the shit out of it.
I'll have to send you. I'm gonna make a post soon about the Millington Tall Man we did pictures of once. Nice. That was fun. They're not scary.
Fun. And thanks. Yeah, Hayashi's art is good. Yeah, should go follow Hayashi.
He'll mix it up and talk about hockey like a real Canadian, and I love it.
Yeah. Go follow. Isn't it Art of Hayashi?
Sure, if you type in Hayashi, it'll find him.
Yeah, it should. As far as I'm concerned, you're the only Hayashi on Instagram.
Shane, I was glad you got to drop in. Glad you got to talk to somebody who's basically bankrolled Scoot.
Yeah, man. I definitely...
He's your Da Vinci and your Medici.
Appreciate your support for everything that you did last year. I really appreciate it. Corey sent me and Brad in our group chat, sent us a preview of the Craven inks, and they are pretty sick. So yeah. You're going to be very happy with those.
Some of the sickest ink, one of the sickest pieces Corey inked all year, we can't even show people yet because it hasn't made it to its home.
Yeah.
It blew me away.
Wait, which one?
For Seaborn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and send those to me. Because I want to use them to post. But
yep. But hey, look at that, man. 853. Or wherever you're at, something 53. So we did pretty darn good tonight.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good.
Anybody got anything before we roll?
Yeah, anybody got any last thoughts? I don't have anything. Again, this should be the start of us getting back to it. So
it'll still be mostly
until
weekly.
Scoot
gets his day job, erased completely. Yeah. It won't be the weekly BS.
But we'll try to do it as much as we can. As much as we can. Because it's super fun.
Oh my god. Aaron says 3 a.m.
Oh, 3 a.m. Aaron, the support is much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. So, yeah, I think that's about it, man. Look at that. Brad's gonna get to leave 6 minutes early.
My god, I'll make it home before 10.
Hey, and then considering I didn't start the we're about to start streaming screen until like 2 minutes before we started, so hey Justin, no problem, buddy.
Yeah, and how she threw it up. You guys ever have your account want to throw it up in the chat?
Yeah,
never
absolutely, yeah.
We are not cool enough to ban links and no. Shit. Like,
yeah, your links can,
as
long as it's not offensive.
Yeah.
You can post up whatever you need.
Corey Kink, his OnlyFans page.
Corey Kink. That's the first package I sent to him.
You guys ever seen BDSM in overalls? You're about to.
Leather overalls.
Oh my god.
All right, guys. All the usual stuff, like the video. Go follow us.
I'll force Scoot. Next time we'll post up early enough next time to do the drawing for the winner for the.
Yeah, we'll do the drawing. We'll get it going. There's gonna be some fun stuff we're gonna do this year. I can't wait, guys. So,
yeah.
But do all the stuff. Follow us. Go like everything that we do. And then tune into the next one.
We'll see you then.
Till then, see you guys.